Okay, student. So last time I am discussing with you about the MRP. So let me have the quick revision of that. So what is MRP? It is related to computerized inventory control. I told about the inventory like it is a storage, production planning system, PPS, management information system. How you can able to manage the information that is related to the MRP, and manufacturing control system (MCS) that is related to the MRP. So what is MRP is? This is the most comprehensive approach to manufacturing inventory and other dependents which demands an efficient management system. The MRP system determines item by item what is to be proceeded, processed and when, as well as what to be manufactured. So this is based on the order priorities and available capacities, like what is the order you are ordering according to your priorities and what are the available capacities you are having. So when to use the MRP? At the point where you need to have the job shop production, you need to have the complex products, you need to have the concept like to assemble to order environments and discrete and dependent demand items. What can MRP do? MRP कर क्या सकता है? So it will reduce the inventory levels. It will reduce component shortages. It can improve the shipping performance. It can improve customer service. It will improve the productivity. It will simplify and accurate scheduling. It will reduce the purchasing cost, improve the production schedules, reduce manufacturing costs, reduce lead times, less scrap and rework, and higher production quality. It can improve the communication. It can improve the plant efficiency, reduce feed cost, and reduce the excessive inventory that is there. Then reduction in the excess inventory, reduce the overtime. It will improve the supply schedules, improve calculations of material requirement, and can improve the competitive position. So that is a case like how the MRP can be used for different applications. Now, based on that, three basic steps that will be necessary for keeping the MRP: identifying the requirement. So, what is your requirement? How you can able to just carry on with the requirement of the different things that is related to the MRP. How you can able to run the MRP by creating the suggestions, and how you can able to form the suggestions. So suggestions means like you go into the market and you can ask the customers like what they want. So based on these things, they will tell you like I want this, I want that, and so on. So that is a need like how you can able to carry out the process. Now first step is identifying the requirement. So what is the requirement? How you can able to identify the requirement on which the MRP is being applied. So that depends upon the quantity on hand, how much quantity on hand you require for the requirement of the MRP. Quantity on open purchase order. So open purchase order means like how you can able to see like how you can purchase the orders for different applications. Quantity in or planned for manufacturing. Quantity committed to existing orders. Quantity forecasted. Company sensitive, location sensitive, and day sensitive. So these are the things that I have already explained to you. How you can able to run the MRP by creating the suggestions. That is a step 2. So critical items you have to take care, expedite items and delay items, and forming the suggestions. So how you can able to form the suggestions based on manufacturing orders, purchasing orders, and various reports. Overview of the MRP system. So product structure file that is also needed for MRP, and you should have the master production schedule where you can able to schedule the production, and in the master production schedule you can able to show like at what time what quantities can be or what process can be defined, and inventory master file. Then accordingly you can able to have the manufacturing orders, purchase orders, and various reports. Now MRP input. So there we are having the input points like it is a product structure file, And in the product structure file, all the details of the products are there. Master production schedule and the inventory master schedule. Now product structure file. Yeah. In the product structure file, you are having the bill of material. So what is the bill of material? It is a material list that provides information useful to construct the manufacturing process. So it is a master product definition that contains a as design information. I told you like bill of material looks like this. For example, for bicycle, if you are having the PYN 1000, then handlebars 4, 1001, frame assembly 1002, wheels it will be 1003 and frame it will be 1004. So master production schedule में क्या क्या है? You are having the schedules according to your time for finished products. At what time your products which you are making is being finished. It represents production, not the demand. So what is your production status and what is not the demand basically is basically related to the production and combination of customers orders and demand, forecast and what needs to be produced. So that all the things is being there in the master production. Inventory master file. So in the inventory master file, you are having the things like on hand quantities, on order quantities, lot size, safety stock, lead time, and past futures figures. These are the various types of the things that is there in the inventory control. So accordingly, you can able to control the thing. Now I told you if you are having the item level code PD and gross depends on the lot size and lead time, and also gross requirement, scheduled receipts, projected on hand, net requirements, planned order receipts, and planned order releases. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are the terms that is related to the MRP like item, name or number for the item being scheduled, low level code, the lowest level of the item on the product structure file, lot size that is order multiples of quantity, lead time. Lead time means the time from where an order is placed and when it is received. Okay, so that is a lead time. PD that is past due to time bucket. Okay, so there it is related to orders behind schedule, gross requirement that is demand for an item by time period. Scheduled receipt, material ordered already ordered, projected on hand that is related to expected ending inventory, net requirement that is number of items to be provided and when, planned order receipts like net requirement adjusted for lot size, and planned order releases that is planned order receipts offset for left time. This is the example of the MRP process. You are having PD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gross requirements are given 10, 15, 25, 25, 30. Scheduled receipt is only one second, that is 25. Projected on hand, there is 20, 10, 20, 20, 20, 50. Net requirements for 3, 4, 5, it is given 5, 5, 10. Grand order receipt is given for 3, 4, 5, that is 25, 25, 25. Rest is nil. And then for the order release that will be given as for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 25, 25, 25, 30, and 25. Now inputs to the introduction production plan. You are having an aggregated plan. Aggregated means collaborative plan. So it includes the finance cash flow, how much cash flow you are having with respect to completing a project. Then the master marketing customer demand. So what is the demand of the customer? Like which type of customer is being using your process and how they are using it. Capacity inventory, so the production, procurement, suppliers performance, management return on investment capital, and engineering design completion, and human resource manpower. So best utilization of man, material, and machinery comprises your aggregate production plan. Now, for example, Amul Industries, Mahindra and Mahindra and Volkswagen for shaft manufacturing, 2013. 160 rupees, 95 rupees, 180 rupees. So this is an example, like on hand operating revenue, borrow from market, reduce your profit, pay interest, worth of money, money is keeping on decreasing because of the inflation increasing. So what are the who are the conservative investors? The conservative investors are like those who guarantee of return of investment or capital plus return on investment. They can able to save account of 3.5 and fixed deposit from 6 to 8.5. Government bonds 5 to 7. PPF accounts 6 to 8. NSS 5%, 6 to 8. Agriculture bond of government 5 to 7.5%, and gold bond that is 2.5%. Aggressive investor, they are having the direct equity of 45%. MF that is LC, SA, MS, multi-cap 12%. LF that is 6 to 9%, and diversified MS that will be 10%. RE that is buying car 1 lakh in 5 years. Now what are the what are the planning process? The planning process includes the production plan, which includes master production schedule, okay, where all your production process, like what you are doing, want to do, and how you are going to do. That is all the things are related there. Then the material requirement plan, how you can able to require the material, and capacity requirement planning, how you can able to adjust the capacity plan for your process, realistic plan, execute the capacity, and execute the material plan. So they are all related to each other in the planning process. So what are the outputs in the MRP? Output is like you will get the accurate manufacturing orders, purchasing of the different materials or the tools that you need in order to make the product, and the various reports that you need for making the. So Hapan's lightning case study. So before the implementation of MRP for their product, less than 75% of the orders are completed on time. Okay, जब MRP अप्लाई नहीं हुआ था वहाँ पे, तो उनके less than 75% of the orders थे वो complete हो चुके on time. But after the MRP implementation, 97% of the orders are completed on time. जब उन्होंने MRP चालू किया, लगाया, तो उनके 97% जो orders थे वो complete होने लगे on time. And 2% of the orders are completed within 1 or 2 days after due date. So we are having the production planning, sales forecasting, and sales and operation planning, where it includes the aggregate production plan, that is the agenda for the lecture. So I told you about the traditional supply chain management. So what is the chain management? First of all, so a chain which consists of making a goods, right from taking the raw materials, suppliers, then goods, then the manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, and then to the customer. So it is related to first parameter, that is the goods, which is related to the money, and information that is related between supplier, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and all. So all these things will make a traditional supply chain, and you need to manage all these things. That is process is called the traditional supply chain management. So based on these things, supply chain, all activities that occur between the growing or mining of raw materials and the appearances of finished products on the shelf store. Traditional supply chain, it includes the traditional supply chain. Information is passed through the supply chain reactively as participant increases their product order. Inherent time lags that will cause a problem. Now another new related to production process technology, which includes MRP, sales forecast, sales operation plan, master production schedule, stock requirement list, bill of material, and lead time, lot size, standard cost, capacity planning, capacity, disaggregates, aggregates, inventory, demand management, sales history, production plan, rough cut plan, and actual cost. Now non ERP production issues क्या क्या होते हैं कि जिसमें ERP लगा नहीं, अप्लाई नहीं होता, तो उसमें सबसे important issues क्या होते हैं? That is, first is to meet the customer demand effectively. A company must develop a forecast of customer demand. Okay, you need to If you want to meet the customer demand efficiently, a company must develop a forecast of customer demand. You need to develop a production plan or a production schedule to meet the estimated demand. ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System, is a good tool for developing and executing the production plan. And goals of production planning is to schedule the production economically. So non-ERP production issues में और क्या है? Production problems and non-ERP business have problems deciding how much to take and when to make them. Communication problems. Marketing and sales persons do not share information with the production person. That is also one of the problems. Like information is not being shared properly between the people, and production personnel find it hard to deal with sudden increase in demand, and that might cause shortages or stock out. Production problem also include the inventory problem. So the production manager lacks systematic methods for meeting anticipated sales product demand and adjusting production to reflect actual sales. And accounting and purchasing problem. The production and accounting department must periodically compare standard cost, that is the normal cost of manufacturing a product, with the actual cost, overhead and labor, and then adjust the account for inevitable differences. Now the production planning ERP process, three important principles for production planning is work from sales forecast and current inventory levels to create an aggregate, meaning combined production plan for all products. Okay. The second is the breakdown aggregate plan, meaning to disaggregate into more specific production plan for individual products and a smaller time interval. And third is use production plan to determine raw material requirements. So these are the three important principles for production planning. SAP ERP approach to production planning, that is related to sales forecasting, starting inventory, sales and operation planning, demand management, detailed scheduling and MRP, which is related to detailed scheduling is related to the production, like how you can able to carry out your production and how you can able to MRP, you are carrying out the purchase. So sales forecasting, what is basically the forecasting is to make a forecast for non-ERP system, and you have to use the previous year sales data in combination with marketing initiatives to increase the sales. So how you can able to increase the sales. So all these things, forecasting and all, depends upon like previously how you have carry on your process of the data. So SAP ERP takes an integrated approach, and it is a simple forecasting technique. Whenever a sale is recorded in sales and distribution module, quantity sold is recorded as a consumption value of that material. So you need to have the consumption and the quantity that will be stored, recorded material for consumption of that material, and it is used as a prior period sales and adjust to those figures for current conditions. Now, this is the chart for the sales forecasting. Previous years in January, February, March, April, May, and June. Suppose you are having these quantities, like in January, quantity of any product 5,734 is being sold. In February, it is 5,823. In March, it is 5,884. In April, it will be 6,134. In May, it will be 6,587, and in June, it will be 6,735. If you see the promotion, January there is no promotion, February there is no promotion of the product, March also, and April also there will be no promotion. But promotion is there for 300 quantities in May and June. So in previous year's base, if you see, then January 5,734, February it will be 5,823, March 5,884, April 6,134, May, if you see the May, then what you have to do is you have to add on like 6, 5, 8, 7 plus 300. If you add on, you can get 6,287 plus 6,735, 6,735 plus 300. If you take, then also you will get 6,435 and 5. Now, after the growth plan of 3%, so if you take the growth plan of 3%, you will get for 5734 172, for January, for February 175, for March 177, for 5884, for 6134 it will be 184, for May it will be 189, for 6287, and for June it will be 6435 billion 193. Base production, if you see, when you add up 5, for example 5734, when you add 172 in it, you will get 6, 10, 9, 5. So 5906 addition. 5823 plus 175, it will be 5998. 5884, when you add 177, it will be 6061. 6134, when you add 184, it will be 6318. 6287 plus 189, it will be 6476. And 6435 plus 193, it will be 6628. So total promotion base for the new year, if you see, for January, nothing, February, nothing, March, nothing, April, nothing, May, nothing. So you are only have 500 units for June. So now, with respect to this previous year, this is the previous year. Current sales forecasting for this year will be 5906 base production, which will be there. 598 for February, 6061 for March, April 6318, May 6476. And if you see the current sale forecast for June, when you add 6628 plus 500, you will get 7128. So adding on, you will get the correct value of the sales forecast for this particular term for the current year for the month of June. That is the promotion base projection plus the promotional sales. So you will get the required forecasting. इस ईयर में जून के मंथ में इतना मेरा फोरकास्ट होगा फॉर कैरिंग आउट द सेल्स ऑफ अ न्यू प्रोडक्ट दैट इज गोइंग टू बी लॉन्च इनटू द मार्केट. Is it clear to everyone about like how sales forecasting depends upon the previous year's data and plus promotion, and then you can able to forecast कि अभी आने वाले टाइम पे प्रेडिक्ट होगा कि ये प्रोडक्ट इतना बिक सकता है. Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? ये क्लियर हो गया सबको कैसे क्या नाम है फोरकास्टिंग करनी है प्रीवियस ईयर्स के बेस पे? Anyone is having any doubt here, so you can ask. किसी को कोई डाउट है इधर सेल फोरकास्टिंग के न्यूमेरिकल में इधर? So you can ask. Anyone is having? Rishabh, Kuldeep, Kishan, Smith, क्लियर हो गया? Okay, so I will moving ahead. Okay, so sales and operation planning in SAP ERP. Sales forecasting can be made using historical data from the sales and distribution module, input from plan developed in controlling the module, CO module, control module, CO means control module, and profit goals for company can be set. Sales level needed to meet the profit goals can be estimated. Sales and operating planning. So it includes rough cut planning, that is a common term in manufacturing for aggregate planning. This aggregated planning to generate detailed production schedule. Once SAP ERP system generates a forecast, the planner can view the result graphically. Rough cut capacity planning, it will be applied simple capacity estimating technique to the production plan. to see if the techniques are feasible or not. So that is basically the things like how rough cut capacity planning applies to a simple capacity estimation technique, that is to the production plan to see if their techniques are feasible or not. So this is one of the data from display product group member material from the software, where NRG group consists of 70% of suppose NRG A bars and 30% B bars are there. Now, based on this, 70% is A bar and 30% is B bar. So if you want to have the sales forecast, this is an example for 30% of the A bar and 30% of the B bar. So forecasting का numerical कैसे करेंगे? Sales and operating planning का, like for example December, January, February, March, April और May, 6 months आपको दिया है, आपको डेटा दिया हुआ है सेल्स फोरकास्ट का. फॉर जनवरी इट विल बी 5906, फरवरी 5998, दिसंबर का कोई डेटा नहीं है सेल्स फोरकास्ट के लिए. मार्च के लिए डेटा है 6061, अप्रैल के लिए 6318 एंड मई के लिए 6476. प्रोडक्शन के लिए 5906, फरवरी 5998, 6061, 6318, 6990. नाउ अब यहाँ पे देखो दिसंबर के लिए आपका इन्वेंट्री दिया हुआ है. इन्वेंट्री मतलब स्टोरेज 100 यूनिट्स का है. यही चीज यहाँ पे कैरी ऑन हुआ जनवरी में, फिर फरवरी में, फिर मार्च में, फिर अप्रैल में और फिर मई में. ठीक है. तो मई में जो आपकी वैल्यू है इन्वेंट्री की वो बढ़ के 524 ली गई. दिस इज द डेटा दैट इज अवेलेबल. वर्किंग डेज का डेटा है जनवरी के 22, फरवरी 20, मार्च 22, April 23 and May 23. Based on the capacity will be 7333, 6667. That is the data that is given. 7333, 7000 and 7667. Okay. That is the data that is given to you. Now, based on these particular things, the utilization of the 3% is 81, 90%, 83%, 90% and 90% that is given. So for an RGA bar 70% इसमें दिया हुआ है. If you take the 70% of this, you are having the data of 4134, 4199, 4223, 42423 and 4830. And 30% of NRGB bars 1772, 1799, 818, 1895 and 2070. Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? ये पूरा डेटा दिया हुआ है कैलकुलेशन के साथ कि सेल्स और ऑपरेशन प्लानिंग जो है वो किस तरीके से आपकी दी हुई. जब आपका ए बार 70% दिया और ए बार 30% दिया. Is it clear? Yes or no? Okay. Now ये सॉफ्टवेयर इसकी तरफ से you can able to maintain the anticipated ARG part of sales and operation Excel file. Now demand management. So links the sales and operation planning process with details. That is the purpose of the demand management. That is to link the sales and the operations planning process with details. Schedule and material requirement planning process. How you can able to schedule with time the material requirement planning process in Marathi. Output, that is master production schedule. Production plans for all finished product goods. For a business, MPS is an input to detailed scheduling, which determines what bar to make and when to make them. Nature of the demands. All systems are implemented to satisfy customers' demand. Okay, सारे जो systems हैं that will be implemented, that is to satisfy the customer's demand. There are different sources of demand for the product and its component item. Some of the item requirements are determined by the needs of the item, while the others are specified by customers. Okay, some of the items are required by determined by the needs of the item. क्या need है item की, and others are specified by customer. So the former requirements also comes from customer, but indirectly. Item requirements can be classified as dependent and independent item. तो item demand क्या होती है? Dependent होती है किसी पैरामीटर पे या फिर independent होती है. Independent demand क्या होती है? Demand of an item that is unrelated to the demand of other items. That is the independent demand. Demand for finished goods parts required for destructive testing, and service parts requirements are example of independent demand. MRP procedure. What is the procedure for applying the MRP? So MPS procedure consolidates the independent demand for forecast and customer order to determine the requirement of end product in each time bucket of planning horizon. After netting the on-hand and on-order inventory and offsetting the lead time, the production schedule of the end product (MPS) is determined. That is the material production schedule. So in the material production schedule procedure, the available to promise, कितना available है और कितना मैंने promise किया था, is also determined. मैंने promise किया suppose 100 units, so मैं available कर रहा हूँ आपको 70 units, तो 30 gap आ रहा है हमारे promise में और availability में. So that can also be determined when you apply the MRP procedure with MPS. So MPS is then fed into the MRP procedure to determine the requirement of low-level component and raw material. So you are having the MPS, how it will fed into the system to have the lower level of requirement for the component and raw material. Demand item or demand dependent items कौन से होते हैं? So demand that is directly related to the or derived from the bill of material structure for other items or end products. Such demands are calculated and need not to be forecasted. तो इनकी जरूरत forecasting की नहीं होती है. ये क्या है already defined होते हैं और ये derive होते हैं bill of materials. A given inventory item may have both dependent and independent demand at a given time. You are having an inventory item that is having both the dependent and independent demand at any time. So for example, a part may be simultaneously be used as a component of an assembly or as a sold as a service part. So you are having a part, simultaneously it will be acting as a component of an assembly or it will be acting as a or sold as a service part. So production to meet the demand, dependent demand should be scheduled so as to explicitly recognize its linkage to production intended to meet the independent demand. MRP procedure includes the gross requirements of components, which are determined by calculating the planned order release of the parents via single level of the bill of material explosion. Net requirements, if you want, you can able to calculate by subtracting the on-hand inventory and scheduled receipt on order in each time bucket, and after consideration of lot size, the net requirements are transformed into planned order receipt. Planned order receipts appear in every period and let time offsetting shifts the planned order receipt backward and derive the POR, which are the MRP results of current item. The MRP procedure continues to explore the POR to obtain the gross requirements of its component. MRP repeat the procedure until POR of all items are determined. The flowchart of MRP procedure is described like here. The net requirement in a period is determined in the MRP procedure by the following formula. So अगर आपको net requirement निकालना है, एक product की requirement कितनी होती है एक period में, तो MRP procedure से आप निकाल सकते हो. That is the formula is net requirement is equals to gross requirement minus available inventory. कितनी ज़्यादा हमें तुरंत environment है रिक्वायरमेंट है और कितनी हमारे पास स्टोरेज है मटेरियल का या फिर टूल्स का या जिस भी चीज़ का, दैट इज अवेलेबल इन्वेंट्री. तो उसका सब्ट्रैक्शन हमें दे देगा नेट रिक्वायरमेंट. So the available inventory for the first period is available inventory is equal to on hand inventory plus scheduled receipt of the first period minus allocation minus back orders minus safety stock. ठीक है, अवेलेबल इन्वेंट्री आप कैसे निकालोगे? ऑन हैंड इन्वेंट्री जितनी है प्लस शेड्यूल रिसिप्ट ऑफ द फर्स्ट पीरियड प्लस माइनस एलोकेशन, कितना एलोकेट किया आपने इन्वेंट्री एक प्रोसेस को करने के लिए, बैक ऑर्डर्स में क्या है एंड सेफ्टी स्टॉक में आपने क्या क्या इन्वेंट्री मेंटेन कर रखी है. एंड फॉर द अदर पीरियड्स अवेलेबल इन्वेंट्री इज इक्वल्स टू प्रोजेक्टेड अवेलेबल बैलेंस एट द एंड ऑफ द लास्ट पीरियड प्लस शेड्यूल रिसिप्ट ऑफ द करंट पीरियड. तो कैसे आप निकालोगे अवेलेबल इन्वेंट्री? दैट इज प्रोजेक्टेड अवेलेबल बैलेंस, कितना आपके पास बैलेंस है एट द एंड ऑफ द लास्ट पीरियड प्लस द शेड्यूल्ड रिसिप्ट ऑफ द करंट पीरियड. कितना आप निकाल सकते हो So if the calculated net requirement is positive, then it is the net requirement of that item or that period. In this case, the projected on-hand balance at the end of that period is less than the safety stock, and the projected available balance is the projected on-hand balance plus the planned order received in that period. So if the calculated net planning procedure, this is an MRP procedure, MPS part number quantity date. Then next you move on to the single level BOM exclusion. Calculate gross requirement of the component with the planned order release in the corresponding period. Calculate net requirement, that is the gross requirement minus the available inventory for each period. Determine the planned order receipt after that according to the lot size. Offset time lead to determine the planned order release, and then last is to obtain the MRP report for current item. And they are related, like offset lead time determined is related to the single BOM exclusion, that is if there are items not processed yet. And then at the last you are having obtain MRP report for current item. So this is a basic flow chart of the MRP procedure where you have to go through with this, and you have to follow this MRP procedure for the different applications of the process. First case study, sunglasses sets. So you can see on the screen, suppose we can have the sunglasses of different colors here. Now how you can able to apply the MRP for making the sunglasses. So this is the case one. In the end product, two temples are assembled to a single piece. Temple means दो उसके जो ये हैं, क्या नाम है आपके, ये जो पॉइंट्स हैं, ये जो आपके पॉइंट्स, इन दोनों को दोनों एंड पे रख दिया गया. Two temples, so the temples are assembled to a single piece lens to make a pair of glass. Two spare lenses are sold along with the sunglasses. They are put in the plastic bag. दो spare lenses को sold करने के लिए plastic bag में रख दिया गया, and they are put in the plastic bag to form a sunglass set. Okay, they are put in the plastic bag to form a sunglasses set. We ignore the plastic bag in the end product. The item master file आपको दी हुई है sunglasses के लिए A, B, C, D, LLC, LT and on hand. So sunglasses LLC 0, LT 1, on hand 5. D sunglasses LLC 1, LT 1 and 40 on hand. C is the lens, दो lens LLC and दो lens LT के लिए, तो on hand 0 यूज हो चुके हैं, और टेम्पल पे 2 LLC and 3 LT, that will be 50. कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? For example, a sunglasses set is made up of a pair of sunglasses and the two lenses, and a pair of sunglasses is made up of lens and two sunglasses. So if you see, आपको दो आपके जो sunglasses हैं उसको मिला के एक आपका sunglass बना, दो अलग अलग जो आपके टेम्पल्स से उसको मिला के एक सनग्लास बना, और ये सनग्लासेस के भी दो अलग अलग पेयर्स हैं सी एंड डी. ठीक है, जिसमें आपका लेंस हो गया और एक में टेम्पल हो गया, लेंस एंड टेम्पल. So based on this particular thing, यहाँ पे A, B, C, D फिर लिया. A, B की क्वांटिटी 1 है, इसकी क्वांटिटी 2, इसकी 1 और 2. So parent components or the quantity per time, it will be given as A, B 1, AC 2, AB 1, AC 2 or BC 1 and BD it will be 2. That is called the bill of material table. कितने मटेरियल कितनी क्वांटिटी का आप लगा रहे हो एक सनग्लास को बनाने के लिए. So based on these things, you are having independent demand data table where you are having suppose specific period एक चीज को बनाने के लिए A रखा, तो उसमें जो हमने पॉइंट्स रखे वैल्यूज में 8 पॉइंट्स 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. तो 2 पॉइंट के लिए वैल्यू है 40, 5 के लिए है 50 एंड 8 के लिए 50 है. एंड शेड्यूल रिसिप्ट टेबल दैट विल बी सी के लिए 1 है 100, डी के लिए 50 है. दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन ये चार्ट में आपको दी हुई है कि बी के लिए सेकंड पे 40 है और फिफ्थ पे 50 है. ठीक है, सेकंड पे 50 है, 1 के लिए ओवरऑल 100% होता है. यहाँ से आप इंडिपेंडेंट डिमांड जो चार्ट के हिसाब से आप बना लो, एंड देन बेस्ड ऑन दैट GR, CR and all, you have to find out 1 to 50 and all calculation, and MPS. MPL's calculation, material process schedule, and material process schedule for calculation for A, and material schedule calculation for B. That we can able to do it in the next turn, and then for C and D, and then the total MPS. Okay, same way इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट पे है, ये दोनों चीजें हम लोग जो हमारा ट्यूसडे को लेक्चर आएगा उसमें हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे, एंड देन वी कैन इंक्लूड द MRP, एंड देन वी विल स्टार्ट द नेक्स्ट लास्ट चैप्टर दैट इज द जॉब शेड्यूलिंग. तो अभी तक जितना पढ़ाया, किसी को कोई डाउट है तो पूछे. I have discussed with you about the MRP schedule, MRP proceeding and all. Anyone is having any doubt, you can ask at this particular time. किसी को कोई डाउट है इसमें तो पूछे. Anyone is having any doubt with respect to this, so that I can show one video to you. Wait for 1 minute.
Everyone, I'm Dr. Visava.
This is a video of the service facility layout. मैंने आपको लेआउट के बारे में बताया था, कैसे MRP वगैरह के बेस पे, लेआउट के बेस पे एक इंडस्ट्री वर्क करती है, कैसे एक अच्छी सर्विस लेआउट फैसिलिटी होती है किसी अच्छी इंडस्ट्री के अंदर. You can see in this video.
Ashini, Assistant Professor, KCS Kasinadar College of Arts and Science. In this video, I am going to explain service layout facilities in operation management. For service facility layout, there are some important physical facilities to be organized. They are factory building, lighting, climatic condition, ventilation, work-related welfare facilities. Let's see one by one. Factory building is a factor which is the most important consideration for every industrial enterprise. A modern factory building is required to provide protection for men, machine, material, product, or even the company's secrets. It has to serve as a part of production facility and as a factor to maximize economy and efficiency in plant organization. Factory building is like a skin and bone of living body for an organization. It is for these reasons that the factory building acquires great importance. Factory building are to be considered for industrial building. So, the factors to be considered here are first one, design of the building and the type of building. Lighting. It is estimated that 80% of the information required in doing job is perceived visually. Good visibility of the equipment, the product and the data involved in the work process is an essential factor in accelerating production, reducing the number of defective products, cutting down waste and preventing visual fatigue and headaches among the workers. It may also be added that both inadequate visibility and glare are frequently caused accident. So, excessive contrast in lighting levels between the worker's task and the general surrounding should also be avoided. The use of natural light should be encouraged. This can be achieved by installing windows that open, which are recommended to have an area equal to the time of the day, the distance of workstation from the windows, and the presence or absence of blinds. For this reason, it is essential to have artificial lighting will enable people to maintain proper vision and will ensure that the lighting intensity ratio between the task, the surrounding object, and the general environment are maintained. Control of climatic condition at the workplace is paramount importance to the workers' health and comfortable and to the maintenance of higher productivity. With excess heat or cold, workers may feel very uncomfortable and their efficiency drop. In addition, this can lead to accident. This human body function in such a way as to keep the central nervous system and the internal organs at a constant temperature. It maintains the necessary thermal balance by continuous heat exchange with the environment. It is essential to avoid excessive heat or cold and wherever possible to keep the climate condition optimal so that the body can maintain a thermal balance. Ventilation is the dynamic parameter that complement the concept of air space. For a given number of workers, the small the work premises, the more should be the ventilation. Ventilation differs from air circulation. It replaces contaminated air by fresh air, whereas air circulation merely moves the air without renewing it. Where the air temperature and humidity are high, merely to circulate the air is not only ineffective but also increase heat absorption. Ventilation disperses the heat generated by machine and people at work. Adequate ventilation should be looked upon as an important factor in maintaining the workers' health and productivity. Work related welfare facilities offered through the workplace can be important factor. Some facilities are very basic but often ignored, such as drinking water, toilet facility, etc. Other may seem less necessary but usually have an importance to workers far greater than their cost to the enterprise. So, what are all the work related welfare facilities? Drinking water facility, sanitary facility, first aid and medical facilities, and then rest facilities, feeding facilities, child care facilities, recreational facilities. Recreational facilities offer workers the opportunity to spend their leisure time in activities likely to increase their physical and mental well-being. It also helps to improve their social relation within the enterprise. Such facilities can include halls for the recreation for indoor and outdoor space, reading library, club for hobbies, pictures, etc. Special educational vocational training courses can also be organized. I hope you all understand so far what you have discussed with relate to service facility layout. We shall see another topic in the next video. Thank you.
Yes, students. So this is with respect to like how the facilities were maintained in the uh, that industries, and how you can able to make the facilities more and more useful. Next important announcement is like already I have put this क्या नाम है your one assignment in the Google Classroom regarding my uh, uh, particular portion. So all the students must complete the assignment by 15. Then only your CSE rubrics marks will be go. Okay, then I can able to upload your CSE marks rubrics. Otherwise, it will be difficult for me to upload it. So all upload it in the Google Classroom. If anybody has not joined the Google Classroom, please join it. Okay, and complete it, submit it in the soft copy, write it in the that rules paper, the assignment, and submit it by 15. 15 will be the last date. After that, I will close the window for that. Okay, so complete your assignment. That is not a very big calculation assignment or something. That is a critical assignment. So I expect that everyone should complete the assignment by 15 so that I can able to evaluate that and I can able to put the marks in the CSE rubrics for that. Okay. So with respect to that, all the students, if you have any doubt, you can ask or you can give your attendance. If anybody wants to ask anything, you can ask or you can give your attendance and you can leave the meeting. give attendance, and you can leave the meeting. Give attendance. Give your attendance. Bishop, Smith, Jawad, give attendance. Give your attendance. Okay, students, thank you. I am ending the lecture.